Okay, so before you guys even start reading Kant, I want to give you guys just a little bit of an outline, kind of a roadmap for what's going on. Kant, I think, is brilliant. I have a lot of respect for Kant and his work, but he is a terrible writer. I mean, nobody can deny that. He is not a good writer. He is bad at presenting his own ideas on multiple levels. And one of the ways he's bad is that I don't think he really signposts enough what he's doing and why in the groundwork. So I just want to give you guys a really high altitude outline. Keep these points in mind as you're reading it. I think it'll help you not to get lost because, Kant really doesn't give us as much in the way of signposts as I think he should. So maybe this will give a little bit of a map to you guys. So I think you can look at this first part of the groundwork as a sort of series of 3 questions and 3 answers at each stage. And the first question is, what is unconditionally good? By unconditionally good, Kant means good in all possible cases. You cannot imagine a case where this is bad if it's unconditionally good. And he says, he'll say, imagine, a sort of disinterested, objective spectator who doesn't know anybody or what's going on. Would they think this is good or not? If the answer is no, then it can't be unconditionally good. Kant will give us some arguments, and then he'll say, well, what can be unconditionally good? He says the good will. Well, that all raises another question. What is the good will? Kant will define the good will as acting on a very specific motive, this motive of duty. You do it because it is the right thing to do, and you see it's the right thing to do, whether you want to do it or not. Question 3, what is duty? How do we know what duty is? These formulations of the categorical imperative, the formula of universal law, and the formula of humanity. In this first reading from Kant, he's going to just give you the formula of universal law. Later, in the second part of the groundwork, or the excerpt of the second part that I've given you guys, he'll give us the formula of humanity. We use these to know what morality requires of us. And it's important when you're thinking about Kant to keep all of these in mind. You have to think of the whole picture Kant gives. I'll see a lot of students, not a lot, but a few students will just say, I'll give them a case study, I'll ask a question, and then they'll just respond with whatever basic knee-jerk reaction they have to the case and say, well, Kant would agree with me because this is the good will. End of story. That's it, right? You can't do that, right? Kant might agree with you, he might not. You have to think of the very specific definitions he gives of the good will and of duty. Keep that in mind. You have to have the whole picture in there if you're going to apply Kant's theory. All right, so that's my really high altitude roadmap. Hopefully, think about this. This is what's going on at each stage. That'll give you a little bit of orientation as you go through and do the reading.